Sorry about that. I'm back again now. So welcome to my afternoon Facebook Live. I do apologise for those that were on 1 second ago. I've just been waiting for some news which sadly I've just received. So I just needed to take that call. So hi again everybody. Apologies, but I'm back. I've got my thinking head on again now. So what I want to show you in this session here is how we can take a card like so and stamp a sentiment going all the way down the page. Now you could, if you've got good eyesight, good dexterity, you could manually, work out where you needed to stamp it. The chances are, especially if you're me, one of them would be wonky, one wouldn't be stamped quite right, etc, etc. So this is a perfect way of getting a perfect stamp all the way down. So what I'm going to do is use this fab stamp set. I'm really disappointed this stamp set is retiring. It has been around a few years, I have to say, but I love this happy birthday in here. So I'm going to use that to stamp all the way down my card. So I put my card here into the corner and I have my magnet here. And what I'm going to do is position my stamp, and I'm sorry it's got no backing on it. I have no idea where it is. But I'm going to make sure it's the right way round. Happy birthday. And I can position this fairly central. Hopefully that stamp is clean. Fairly central across the top there, like that. I'm going to bring my plate in. Hi Scylla. And pick up that stamp. Sorry about my false start, ladies. So I have my happy birthday across the top, and what I'm going to do is ink that up and stamp it, and then what I'm going to do is move this by the hinge, one hinge position down. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I hope you can see this, I'm going to lift this up, move it down by one hinge, and then re-ink it and press it down. So then I'll get my happy birthday in the next position. Now this works particularly well if your stamp fits in between each of these hinges. Okay, if you've got a larger stamp, then what you need to do is center it between two hinges. Okay, because obviously you're going to jump down in sets of two. So let's pop this back up. It doesn't actually matter where you start, but it makes sense for me to start at the top so you can see where we're going. I am going to put a piece of grid paper underneath. And also sometimes if you're very close to this edge, it's slightly higher because it does slope down very slightly. So what I often will do is add another piece of card underneath just to lift that up. It's not enough to need the foam pad, but sometimes you just need a little bit extra. So I pop the magnet down and I'm going to ink up this happy birthday, and I've chosen some purples for a change. So I've got Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape. And I'm just going to start off with Highland Heather. I might just alternate them actually. Let's start with Gorgeous Grape and go dark light, dark light. That's the theory anyway. Hi Marie, thank you for hopping on. So I'm just going to ink this one up. I hope you can, yes you can just about see that. It's a bit dark against my surface there. Press that down, good pressure. Okay, and that will transfer our happy birthday onto here. So what I'm now going to do is just wipe this down and move it down by one position Oh, hi Anne-Marie. You're joining us from Ontario, as I seem to remember. So now we're going to use Highland Heather ink and ink up our happy birthday. Okay, and I've moved this down by one position, and now I'm going to press that down like so. So there's my lighter one. I'm going to move it down another position and ink it up in the darker colour. Now, because I'm going dark, I'm not actually going to clean off. Oh, that's nice. Hi Liz. Well, I don't have many watching from Canada, Anne-Marie. So it wasn't that difficult. Hi Liz, lovely to see you. So I've gone with the Gorgeous Grape again, pressing that down, and I've moved it down by one position like so, and I'm going to carry on. So I'm going to move this down. Now the closer you get to the bottom, the more wobbly this becomes, because obviously you haven't got much in the way of the bits on the edge, so just be wary of that as you're getting further down. So just going to clean that off, and I'm going to go for Highland Heather again. Hi Babsy. I'm just going to move my magnet down out of the way a little bit. So although I'm changing colour, so I'm giving myself a little bit more work. Okay, you could just leave it the same colour, or what you could do if you don't like to keep wiping is do the darker ones first and then come back and do the lighter ones. Oh, thank you Anne-Marie, I really appreciate that. So just do that one there. There we go. So there we've got a fully stamped page. I have alternated the colours, but if I tried to do that manually, there's no way I could have done that to get those all straight, all perfect, with nothing missing. Okay, so if I was doing this and I was in a bit more of a hurry, what I would do is the three darkest ones, clean off the ink pad, and then do the two light ones. Okay, so that's one version. If you can see that, let me put that at the side maybe. The page is going everywhere. Like so. Can you see that okay? So that's fine, but what happens if you want to put something else in between? So we can do that. We can either leave a gap and just stamp something in the middle. So for example, I could leave out that happy birthday and put an image, a cake or something else like that, or I could use a different sentiment. So let's do that. So I've got a card, standard size card there. Just pop this back into the corner like so. Move my happy birthday back up to the top, and this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to do happy birthday and then something else, happy birthday and then something else. So what I'm going to do is my 3 happy birthdays first, so that I'm not switching plates the whole time. So let's go with Gorgeous Grape. That's the colour. So just inking that up there to the side. I'll get that stuck in there. So good pressure. Okay, and then I'm going to come down to 1, 2, but I'm going to keep the colour the same. Obviously you could change colours. This would make a really nice rainbow coloured card if you did them in rainbow colours. So this is going down the page, and I'll do another one in a second going across the page. I'm going to move my magnet out of the way, just up there. Move it down by 2 again. As I say, just remember as it gets towards the bottom, it'll be a little bit less secure because you've only got, you know, 4 hinges as opposed to all 8 hinges. So there we go. There we have. So we've got 3 happy birthdays. Just going to wipe this off. And then the middle, I could put a sentiment. So what I did think of putting was this one here, celebrate, commemorate with festivities, in between the two. So all I'm going to do is get my sentiment. I'm going to take that plate away for the minute and use another plate. So I say it comes with 2 plates, but definitely order extras if you can. And so what I'm going to do is position this roughly in the middle. What I don't know is how straight that is. We'll soon find out. Okay, so the stamp is clean. Needs to be clean to be doing that. Hi Lynn. And I've just positioned that roughly in the middle between the 2 happy birthdays. So when I step it down, I know it should be in the middle here again. And I can change the colour of this. Let's do that, just so we've got something different. Let me grab, let's go for garden green as it's here. Hi Tracy. So just inking that one up. Now obviously what you could do beforehand is test both of these to make sure they're nice and straight. There we go, there's that one. I'm going to move it 2 and then ink it again. So you can see how easily you could build this up with different patterns. Okay, so anybody who's just joined us, hi Tracy, this is the Stamparatus stamp positioning tool. So now we've gone from that with the happy birthday right the way down to this one here with the sentiments in between. This stamp set, Praiseworthy Prose, is also retiring. So if you like these sentiments and things, it's worth having a look at that. Hi Yuta, hi Isabel. So we're doing some work with the Stamparatus. So I've gone down here on the right hand side with the same sentiment, and then I've gone down here with 2 sentiments. And this works well where you've got something that fits in about 1 inch apart. If you've got a bigger item, then all you need to do is centre it between 2 of these items here. So I'm going to do that in a second. I want to show you how to stamp the other direction. So a couple of things to remember. When you put your first stamp in, it needs to be up into the corner. Okay, let me show you why. If I started with the stamp here in the middle, okay, and I put the plate down and pick it up, I can move this down at any point, going down, but I can't move it any further because this here doesn't allow me to position the plate. So the plates, the furthest the plate can go is this position. I hope that makes some sense. So when you're starting, you always want to start with your stamp at its highest position, because you're then going to walk it away. Okay, and it's exactly the same if you want to go acrossways. So if I wanted a line of something, flowers for example, let's do this one here. Okay, let's say we had it this way. Okay, you want to be able to step it across. So what I'm going to do now, if I'm going a long ways, is I'm going to pick up the stamp that's on the left hand side, so closest to the margin, and then that will allow me to move the stamp along and along. Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up so I know I'm talking sense. Right, what I'm actually going to do is do it with a smaller one, because I want to show you how to do it with a larger one in a second. So let's just do it with this little leaf here. So all I'm doing is positioning it in that first corner. Let me put another card in. I'm going to have those little leaves at the top. Oh good, Carol, I'm glad I'm making sense. It's one of those, sometimes it's more difficult to explain than it is to show you. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp these going along. Okay, and then I'll show you how to handle a bigger stamp and how best to work with that. So I've got garden green out, so I'm going to use garden green. I think I used that yesterday actually. So I'm just going to ink that one up and stamp it, lift it up, move it one along. Oh, thank you, Carol, that's very sweet of you. It's different. I mean, I'm used to running classes in person and seeing people and being able to help them. So it's quite different when you're doing it on your own, just talking. I know some people craft along. If they've got the products, then they can craft as we do it. And some things, it's quite difficult to show. Okay, so all I'm doing exactly the same as I was before. Step stamping it's called. Or you can call it repeat stamping. And I know that some of the stamp positions on the market, other ones, don't allow you to do this because it's an enclosed space. So you can't move it along. Stampin' Up did a lot of work on the research as to what features we wanted, and this was one of them. There we go. So there we are, nice and evenly spaced, perfect stamping. And remember, if you don't stamp it first time, you can go back, ink it up and restamp it. So there is our line of flowers. Now what happens if we want something bigger than this 1-inch section? So let's say we're going to use this larger flower. Obviously it's wider than one section, so it's just not going to work going acrossways. So there's various different things you can do. So what you can do is look at 2 of those at any one time and center your flower between the 2. Okay, and if you can see that, so there's 1. Hi Linda, here's 2. So what I've done, if I just use a piece of card, is that's the right hand side of the stamp and it's centered in here roughly, and that's the left hand side. That's a bit better. Okay, so it doesn't have to be exact, but what you don't want to do is start this on the very left hand side, because then it won't be very even across the top. So let me move that one out of the way, pop my plate back in. Okay, now I will change colour on this, so I'm just going to do that in Gorgeous Grape, but obviously you could choose, which is hidden under here, you could choose to use your pens if you wanted to ink those up. So pulling the plate over, pushing that down. Okay, make sure my magnet's in a good position to hold the paper, just so it doesn't walk around. I'm just going to ink this one up like so, and pop it down. Okay, lift it up, and this time I'm going to move it 2 across. Okay, now if you did it 1 across and you went to put it down, you'd see that these overlap. Okay, so that would remind you that you need to step 2 across. Now the rest of this week I've got doing other designs with the Stamparatus. So we can do, for example, easy mirror stamping, where you have something, for example, a character facing one way, and you can get it to face the other way. Okay, so those are evenly spaced. Now when it comes to this one, I move 2 across. Obviously I've only got half of one of those hinges left, so I'm going to show you a way around. Oh, that's fine, Linda, thanks for popping in anyway. And this is why it's good to have the grid paper underneath, because it's going to absorb that little bit of ink. So there we go. So we've got our 3 flowers going along. Okay, now what happens if I really wanted that flower in the middle? Okay, not starting from one end or the other. So what we can do is this. We start off with the flower, so I'm going to take it off the plate, and I'm not worried that I haven't got a border across the bottom, but I'm going to put this, let's have it for example at a bit of an angle, right in the centre of my paper, like so, and pick that up, whoops, with the plate. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the plate right on the edge. So rather than put the plate right over to the left hand side, the plate is only going to pick that up. I haven't cleaned it, which is why it's stamped. But what that will enable me to do is move this as I need either way. But what I'm also going to do is move the paper. Okay, so let me ink this one up and start the middle image. Now this is where, if you've got odd sizes of stamps that don't fit this sort of 1 inch gap, this is how you can get some accurate stamping. Okay, so what I can do now is ink that up and then work out where I need to move my paper. For example, so that I've got one on the left hand side and one on the right. So is that one there? Sorry, my paper did move right at the beginning. It's my fault. And then I'm going to slide this along, move this along, if needs be, by 2, and then slide this card back. I want to slide the bottom bit as well. Let me just grab that. So I don't want it to go off the end. Okay, so what I'm doing is I can just move this piece of card to get it where I want it. So it's not as accurate, although you could obviously use the grid paper. Oh, bless you, Jacqueline. How funny. And measure the different distance from one to another. But that's pretty close from my point of view. It means that these will be in line. They may not be dead in line going across ways, but they will be in line, sort of top to bottom. Does that make sense? So that's where you've got something which doesn't quite fit in either one hinge or 2 hinges. So I hope that makes sense. Let me try it with something bigger. I'm thinking this little piggy I can find. So we've got this little piggy, and these are great to do in a little line, so I'm just going to show you how to do that. I don't think we need purple pigs though. So let me just switch that out, take that one out. I have an assortment of stamps now all over the place. So what I could do is have my pig flying across, and as you've seen me do before, I've actually cut off the words "she believed she could, so she did" is how it goes together. Or I've got "hogs and kisses" and I've cut those off as well. So I'm just going to have a flying pig because I wanted it without the sentiment. So as you can see, I literally just cut it off there. So what I'm going to do is position my first piggy in the middle, and by doing that I can then move this card left or right. Now if you're a good accurate stamper, of course you could just freehand stamp this, no problem at all. Okay, so I'm just looking at these lines as my gauge really. Okay. Make sure if you're moving, if you want to do this step stamping, that you put your hinge on the right place. So if you're going left to right, the hinge needs to be at the top. If you're going top to bottom, the hinge needs to be at the side, because you're going to step it down. Okay, you'll soon find out if you put it on the wrong place and you try to move it, you'll realise that actually it's not going in the right direction. Okay, oh, my cat's just come flying in. Right, let me pop that on there. Let's set that up again. So I'm going to have a pig complete, and then she's going to go off the page on either side. Let me have a look at that again. There we go, that looks fairly central, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm just going to use Memento black ink so that I can colour my little piggy in. And I'm just going to ink her up. So this is the flying pig. As I say, if you're an accurate stamper, you could just, I was going to say wing it. That would be quite a pun, wouldn't it, really? Hey ho. Right, so there is my piggy in the middle, like so. And now I can move her. Let's see if 2 will do it. Actually, I could do 2 or 3. I think that might actually work. Let's try it and see. It might be a little bit close. Let us see. I'm sorry I missed your live, if you were live as well, Jacqueline. Let's have a look, see. Oh, that was lucky. And then I'm going to move her 1 over. Now I can't move her any further to the left, because when I put my plate down, instead of doing what I said I should do, which is put the plate here, I put the plate all the way to the left. So all I can do for this one is move this over by the same amount. So, and I need to do another one, don't I? So, do as I say, not as I do, huh? Okay, I think that will work. Just going to give it a little bit more. So when you put that down, obviously Nobody said, Jenny, you're doing it wrong. You want to put this plate right on the edge. Okay, let's see if that will work. If it doesn't, we can do it again. There we go. So hopefully if you do this yourselves, you might remember the pig. And that reminds you to put your plate a bit further over. There we go. There we go. So we've got a line of fun flying pigs. Now if I was doing that manually, there's no way I would have got those as accurately as that. Let's put happy birthday on the bottom, shall we? Why not? So let me take that plate out. Find my happy birthday on a plate. Make sure it's clean. Put my plate back on. Actually, this plate could go either way. I just want a single happy birthday underneath there. Put that on there. And then this just gives you time to line it up rather than you know, taking it off and stamping it manually. So I mean, it might still be slightly off to one side or slightly uneven, but it's better than just trying to stamp it with your block having got this far. So let's do that, and I'm going to do that in pink because I'm going to colour my pigs in pink. So I'm going to do Flirty Flamingo. Let's see what that looks like. I can always go darker if I need to. So I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo blends, I think, to stamp them in. Oh, hi Pat. Nice to see you. So there's my happy birthday. And I've got my little pigs. So what I could also do, obviously, is stamp something else on there, so you can build up the picture as much as you want, or I could put something on either side of my happy birthday, a little flower or something. I could add that in. But the main thing is keeping that nice and straight. So that's what the Stamparatus is perfect for. So let me put some of those cards together. So I hope you're well, Pat. We're working on the Stamparatus this week. I know you've got one yourself. So yesterday we did some basic stamping, and today we're doing step or repeat stamping. So I'll show you what we've done. And then tomorrow we're doing stamping in the round. So doing a wreath type card. And then Thursday I've got mirror stamping, where you can, so you could have, for example, a piggy facing this way, and then the same piggy facing the other way. And also some die cuts, so I'm going to try and fit all of those in. And then Friday will be my Fun Friday, simpler designs. So let me remove my Stamparatus out of the way. So if anybody already has the Stamparatus, you can get spare plates at the moment. They're, I believe, £5.60 for 2 plates. So well worth grabbing some spares. I have to say I've only had 1 plate ruined where somebody forced it incorrectly. Right, so I've just got this happy birthday here, which I've done in alternate colours, and I've also got this one with the celebrate. So I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to. I think I'll do this one, then I might add some little pop out flowers there. And then this is where we yeah, that's where we started, wasn't it? Okay. Oh, you forget the plates, Jutta. Oh, think we're all as bad as each other. So, just using my scribble of glue across the whole back of the card. Gosh, I can't believe it's 20 to 4 already. Goodness me. So, let's just layer that one up. So this is gorgeous grape colour of ink and gorgeous grape colour of backing, and that's garden green in between. I'm just going to put this onto a white card for a change, like so. I'm just going to use the wet glue as it's there. So for those of you that haven't caught up with the live with me recently, we do have our new catalogue coming out in June. Demonstrators can order some bits and pieces from them already. But we do have a new version of the snail coming out, which means the old snail refills, I believe, are no longer available to order. So I have ordered up a stock. So if you have a snail and you want me to allocate you some refills, then just send me a message after, and I can allocate them to you, keep them aside for you. When they're gone, they're gone, but we do have a new snail coming out. It's new and improved, a little bit more expensive, but there's more tape on the roll. You get another 3 meters, so it works out about the same. So this one here, I might just put, I can't quite decide whether to stamp some flowers or just put some dots. What do you think, guys? Flowers, or let's see what I've got in terms of gems. Because I think this would make a nice, you could make this a nice man's card, couldn't you, as well? So, what have I just seen? Gem, says Lynn. So I've got blue, green, got everything except the colour I wanted. I could colour up some, but I could just put some plain ones on. I could, as I say, I could colour them up. Let's just put some plain ones on, and then they could be male or female themed. Okay, let me pop those on. I've just dropped my piercing tool. So I'm just going to put 3 on here. 1, 2, and 3. So really easy card. And you could make loads of these in different colours, couldn't you? So you could stamp these in blues or blues and yellows, and that would be great for any age really, young or old. I think that would work. So that is one. I have got my happy birthday ones here, so I'm going to make that into another one. And then let's just colour in our piggies. If you want to watch me colour them in, you don't have to if you don't want to. But I just thought it would be a nice way to finish those off. And just grab my pinks. Oops. So I keep my pens, I know we have Stampin' Up storage, but because my pens tend to go with me a lot, I keep them in these elastic folders. So I just keep them roughly by colour, and I say roughly, I'm not joking when I say roughly. So I've got light Flirty Flamingo, dark Flirty Flamingo, and a little bit of light Petal Pink. Let me move these out of the way, and I might have a brighter pink for the cheeks, maybe light lovely lipstick. So let me just do these really quickly. So I'm going to go over with the darker colour first, which is my dark Flirty Flamingo. Now there's not many markings on here, so I'm just going to come in sort of from the edges, and I use that feathering motion, so it's going smaller and lighter towards the middle, on here and here. As I say, if you don't want to watch me colouring in, I fully understand. But the main thing this week is to show off the Stamparatus. So a lot of us have had them. They've been around for, I want to say 18 months. But I'm not sure. I'm trying to think if they were in the last summer catalogue. So you can buy the basic Stamparatus, which gets you 2 plates and the foam mat. And then you can add to that by buying the extra deluxe foam mat and the grid paper if you wish. As I say, if you've got Stamparatus, grab some spare plates if you want. Let's just do a little bit of this darker. So these are our Blends alcohol markers, if you've not come across them before, and they match all of our Stampin' Up colours. And we have some new colours coming out which do look lovely, I have to say. Right, this is my light Flirty Flamingo, and I'm just going to brush in from the edge where I've got that line, cover the whole area, and then I'm going to go back and just go over the join, so we can't have little joins in little Miss Piggy. So adding that in, and can you see it's just beginning to blend in together? I hope you can see that. I don't know if that makes any difference really. With my blind now, so just add this little bit in here, like so. Hi Claire. So Claire is watching me from about 50 yards away. She's one of my lovely neighbours. Very lucky to have lovely neighbours. And so just smoothing this light flamingo in, like so. So I'm using the brush tip for that. And then, oh, I've done his curly tail, or her curly tail I should say. And then I'm just going to use the finer tip over the join of the dark and the light. There we go. I quite actually like one coloured pig. Might leave the others. It's quite fun. I could add some clouds, couldn't I, maybe? There we go. Let's give her a bit of a rosier cheek. So just a little dot in there, then I'm going to blend that out again. Oh, hi Helen. There we go. Just leaving that little bit lighter. And there we have our piggy. So it wasn't supposed to be a colouring exercise. It was purely to show you the step stamping of the pig. So I hope you like that. Let me just grab a card for that, and we are all done. Right, so this is a Flirty Flamingo card. And what I might do is, that's okay Helen, put a layer of grey behind. Oh, hi Jen. Just to pick that out as a layer. So do you think I should leave just one coloured in, or do you think I should do all three? Let me know. What do you think? So this is the basic grey. Just going to have a look and see. One coloured, says Lynn. Yeah, just going to put the basic grey. One. Oh, good. Everyone's gone for one. That's good. That saves me more colouring in. So I'm just going to cut this layer to fit. So, who knows somebody who likes pigs? That has a birthday coming up. I should say, shouldn't I? Let's have a look. I might need to adjust that size. Everybody says one. I'm glad you're all in agreement. That's good. So, let me have a look. 1, 2. That works perfectly, doesn't it? That will do nicely. So sometimes I add a layer, sometimes I don't. It just depends really. So there's my flying pig shape. So just a bit of wet glue, as I say, just a scribble, no height. Onto the basic grey. I could have gone for smoky slate, I suppose, or grey granite. But as I'd used black memento for my piggies, I think that's a bit closer. There we go. So I hope you'd enjoyed that. So if you missed the beginning and you want to know a little bit more about the Stamparatus and how we do step stamping or repeat stamping, then this will be available on live as soon as I've, well, a minute or two after I've finished. And then there is a video from yesterday that was an introduction to the Stamparatus. And then tomorrow morning at 10 I have another Stamparatus class. So you'd be most welcome to join me for that. So step stamping of our piggies. Step stamping going down with 2 different things, happy birthday and a celebrate. And then I've got this one here which I will finish off, which is a straight happy birthday. I could add a thin sentiment in between the two if I wanted to. I might give that a go in a minute and see. So thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. I hope you are all staying safe and looking after each other. So stay safe, take care of your friends, your family, take care of yourself more importantly, and just keep crafting. Thank you so much for joining me today. See you again tomorrow. Thanks a lot everyone. Bye bye.